So Conor McGregor just posted on his IGTV a video of him rolling around LA outside of surgery that he just got out of on a scooter, and he was extremely positive, and he was stating that he actually did in fact have a hairline fracture going into his fight with Dustin Poirier. And in this video, McGregor was extremely positive, something that we're not used to seeing lately, with all the death threats he's making to Dustin Poirier and his family, which is extremely fucked up. But in general, McGregor is very accepting of what happened, what occurred at UFC 264. He was even telling all the fans after he was thanking everyone. You can ask Dana White, you can ask, I forget what his name is, but the head doctor of the UFC. You can ask these guys. They had a bunch of conversations in the lead up to this fight because McGregor did, in fact, apparently according to him and John Kavanagh, he did have a hairline fracture, like I said before, going into this fight because he was training without shin pads, kicking knees. He did fuck up his legs a couple times apparently, which if you really think about it is not really an excuse, or if it is an excuse, it's a shitty one because that's kind of what his game plan was going into it. He threw, right when that fight started, he was throwing nasty kicks right where the knee is, on the side of the knee. I believe that's similar to how Jimmy Crute and Anthony Smith, how that fight ended with Jimmy Crute's leg just being dead. It wasn't a calf kick, but it was right on, I don't know what the nerve is, I'm no fucking doctor, but right up the side of the knee. And if you kick it properly, you hit whatever nerves there, it's going to completely kill your leg and just make it dead, and it's going to result in you not being able to use it effectively, especially in a UFC fight. But yeah, so from my perspective, it's kind of his own fault for kicking that hard without shin pads on. Or he said he would train with his leg wrapped, but even then, like kicking a fucking knee by accident or kicking in that area, which Dustin Poirier said it himself, is very easy to check, which I was also really surprised he was even kicking there instead of going for the calf kick. That's way easier to kick and less likely to be checked, especially when you're a southpaw facing another southpaw that was fucking discussed everywhere online after their rematch 6 months ago. Conor McGregor also, of course, said in the video that Dustin Poirier did back away when he was in Conor McGregor's full guard. He backed away and got up because of the elbows that McGregor was landing, similar to the elbows he was landing to Chad Mendes in their fight. And he said he drilled that constantly in his camp because when his ankle was sore, he would drill off of his back and drill those elbows. And he said that, Dustin was not having it with those elbows, and that's why he got up, when in fact Dustin, according to him, he got up because McGregor he actually really was holding Dustin's gloves, holding him down so he couldn't posture up, and beat the fuck out of McGregor, smashed the shit out of him like Khabib. So I think it's more on the Dustin Poirier side, because when McGregor was landing those elbows, Dustin, didn't really seem too impacted by it. He just paused right after McGregor's finished. Right after McGregor landed a few of those elbows, Dustin was like, okay, you can have a couple of my elbows as well. And then he fucking started feeding McGregor his own, smashing the shit out of him, mauling him. Towards the end of the video, he said he needed to get treatment on his leg, specifically his shin bone, ankle area, due to, Dustin Poirier's calf kicks and all the injuries he's had to deal with. He also fucked up his knee going into the Chad Mendes fight. Something you gotta respect Conor McGregor about is that he's never pulled out of fights. He doesn't pull out of fights. But yeah, he actually also even referred to himself as Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2 because they actually put a titanium bolt from his knee down to his ankle, which according to the doctor is unbreakable. So that's good news. And overall, he's just very excited. He's very optimistic about the future and the story it's going to be when he comes back successfully against Dustin Poirier, maybe the fucking fourth fight. You never know what's going to happen. With that being said, do you guys think that Conor McGregor can actually successfully come back from breaking the shit out of his ankle like he did at UFC 264? It's hard to tell because, the first people that come to mind are like Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman, he literally healed like the Terminator after his nasty leg break against Uriah Hall recently. We have yet to see if he's going to be able to come back strong and look good. But then again, you're thinking of Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman. Those guys are up there in age. In the video, I have to say I was happy seeing McGregor in that mindset. With him making all these comments about Dustin Poirier, about the murder. The murder thing, honestly, to me wasn't that big of a deal because he's obviously not going to fucking murder him. I'm talking about when he said he was going to murder him inside the cage. You're getting into a fight. People shit's going to be said, but when it comes to the family and, like with the religion, when it came to Khabib, that stuff is crossing the line 100%. The question is, can he come back from that injury? It's a pretty fucking devastating injury. Broken ankle like that. If someone's gonna do it, I think it's gonna be Conor McGregor. Don't get me wrong. You guys might hate hearing that, but you know, that guy, he's very driven. People are questioning his drive, if he even wants to fight, if he wants it as bad as he used to. The fact that he's even fighting with hundreds of $millions in the bank account should answer that question yourself. As a fan of his and his old mindset, I really hope he does come back, and just it's exciting. Whenever Conor McGregor fights, everyone watches. He's the most exciting fighter in the UFC just for his star power alone. For me personally, I think that a guy he should come back and fight is Tony Ferguson. I think that fight would make the most sense. Tony Ferguson's ranked number 5 and Conor McGregor is ranked number 7. Just from the fighter meeting on Tuesday, Ferguson went up one spot from 6 to 5, and then McGregor went from 5 to 7. So that fight would make a lot of sense. Tony Ferguson looked like he's aged 60 years in the last 3 fights. After that Justin Gaethje beating, he's taken at like 37 or 38 years old. It's going to change you. And then the Charles Oliveira mauling, that nasty armbar submission, and then that heel hook by Neil Dariush. It's going to change you as a fighter, especially when you're touching 40 years old or close to touching 40 years old. But I think that fight would be good. Who knows what would happen? That's a good fight to come back to with McGregor, but he's going to be out at least a year. Dustin Poirier's going to fight Charles Oliveira. And if he beats Charles Oliveira, we all know that Conor McGregor is going to get that title shot because, you know, he's the cash cow in the UFC. Everyone knows that. Dana knows that. He addressed that. He said it himself. I don't want to see the 4th fight. I don't know if you guys want to see it. You can comment below if you want to see it yourself. I would love to hear from you guys. I reply to all my YouTube comments because I love each and every one of you so much. Yeah, you guys can let me know who you think Conor McGregor should come back and fight. Do you want to see the 4th fight? And if you're at this point, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more videos like this. There's going to be multiple videos coming out every week. I appreciate all your support and I hope you all have a great day. Take care, guys.